everybody. Happy Friday, October 31st. We are done with October, you guys. This is Halloween. Hopefully, my West Coast people are being safe as my East Coast people are wrapping up. If y'all were trick-or-treating or whatnot, I'm going to be honest, I ain't doing none of that, y'all. But what's up, y'all? I got J Train and Strilla out with me tonight on this cold evening. At least it's cold in the A for James and I. B, I'm sure D Tweezy has to have a breezy up there. Because we're on the brink of November. How y'all doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great. What's up, B?
I'm good. I'm peachy.
Awesome. I'm
I'm
like,
like I'm like Georgia. I'm peachy.
Yeah, the cold peaches now. So of course, shout out to Pink Fan Fur, the realest real creator out there. She's the one who does all the promos. What's up, Pink? Thank you so much for having us on your platform and all the behind the scenes ads you do throughout every broadcast. And of course, BA, as he's got up there tonight, our producer extraordinaire for all the beats and hits and all that good stuff. You guys make sure you share this stream. I got a little issue going on with Facebook still, but Pink Fan Fur to the rescue. She's sharing. And so what's up to YouTube, TikTok, IG, and everybody. All right, guys, we've been talking about halfway through the season all the last couple of weeks, and it is here. Week 9 is upon us. Biggest news coming out right now. We saw Lamar Jackson last night in that matchup against the Miami Dolphins. And y'all, I do need your opinions on this because either Miami is the team we thought they were or Atlanta was the team we thought they were because Miami looked an absolute mess. I mean, they hung in there for about the first half, but then it was all the Jackson show. And even in Miami, the Dolphins were routed, guys. Did you guys get a chance to watch that on Thursday night football?
I watched a little bit of it.
I got some of the highlights, or all of the highlights.
What were y'all thoughts?
And I think it's more of the latter part of what you said. I think it's more of the Jackson show. I think Lamar understands the assignment. He understands that they're 1-5, and now they're 2-5, and they have no room for error, especially if they want to win a mediocre AFC North division. Tequila is good for the soul. Yes, I know you've seen watching one of your rivals, Yinzer, come back from the depths of the grave. When it looks like they were in critical condition, but now Lamar's back. Even Derrick Henry got in action. He got 119 yards, and Lamar threw 4 touchdowns, mostly to his tight ends, and one for not Zay Flowers, but Bateman. Yeah. So they look good. And,
out there, coming back in action. But you're right, J Train. But I mean, well, I'll get B's perspective, then we're going to spin back to that part A of that conversation. B, I know it was Yawnsville for the second half of that game at least. I mean, did we expect anything different from Miami?
I mean, coming into this game, I knew really the offense has not been the problem for Baltimore, depending on what quarterback is running it. Cooper Rush was not the answer for Baltimore. That's why they didn't do good in that game with him. But once Huntley came in there, yeah, he did a magnificent job against Chicago. And then Lamar is just like A+ right there. So when you got all of that coming back, I mean, the offense is never the problem. Again, with Baltimore was their defense. Their defense played very well. They did a better job. So going forward, I think that Baltimore will be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. I mean, but so is it too early to say? Well, I mean, you put this comment up, Yenzer. What's up, Yenzer? And this is what part 2 that I really want to address. The Falcons were beat by these guys, like absolutely dominated. To be honest, it wasn't even really a game, right, J Trey? I mean, it's like just a normal thing. We see a team that's really good, and they're entitled to their one fluke, or is this who the Falcons are? I mean, Penix Jr. is likely not going to play again this Sunday, and so Falcons are going to have their hands full.
They're back.
He's playing him and Drake London.
And Mooney is back too. They're all 3 back.
And they all played. Defensive end guys back too.
But they all were present when they played the Dolphins, except not Penix. I guess all of them were out. Well, still, like we said though, J Train, your B squad is really the strength of your team. If you have a plan B in place, that's how you can tell if you really have a good squad or not. If all you have are your starters, and Strilla, you know about this because Detroit battled a lot of injuries, and they still were very contentious in last season with no issue. J Train, your team and my team, when battling injuries, is very evident.
Yeah. If you don't have depth, you might as well hang it up. And I can attest to that, particularly last season. Uh, it's just it's really hard to have the depth, quality depth, and have good players unless you draft well. You pick quality free agents up, and look at San Francisco. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, regardless of that bad loss they had last week or last Sunday, they were still doing well. I mean, considering what they had. I mean, I think the water. I mean, the rubber met the road finally with against Houston, but I still think they have a quality team, and is that you're able to hold steady until you're able to get some of those players back. But when you don't have quality depth, like Atlanta probably does not, and New Orleans does not, it shows itself in crucial games that you need. And I think I don't know if that's quite the appropriate statement. I mean, I'd love to say that, but I just think that they have something's missing there. I think it's probably with the coaching. I mean, they have too much talent on that team to really be like what Yinza just said. And I think the coaching is that. I think the coaching is that. I think not having the talent. I mean, you got talent on the floor offensively. They're okay defensively. I mean, actually, they're pretty decent defensively. But they should be winning. They should be winning. I think a lot of it should be blamed on Raheem Morris.
Yeah, coaching. 92.9 the game, the Atlanta Sports Network here, they are all saying that. And sure, I see you are agreeing. What are your thoughts? Because I know we've had some real passionate discussions in the group. Of course, Kevin is supposedly working tonight, maybe working his eyelids closed, who knows? But nonetheless, he's not here. He was with us last week, the Falcons fan that we have. And so, what are your thoughts on this? Is
Yeah,
this a
I
coaching
mean,
issue?
it's definitely a coaching issue. You can't go into Carolina and get lambasted
Mhm.
and not score any points. And you're supposed to have a good defense. And the coach is a defensive minded coach. So
Mhm.
what happened there? Then you come home and you're playing against a Miami team that's limping on its last, and you get lambasted by them at home.
Mhm.
There's something wrong with the process of what the players are. I don't understand. I don't understand if it's the preparation. I don't understand what's going on because they have the talent. Like James said, they got the talent. They could be a very good team, but the coaching is just bad. It's just not working. I don't care what, and Kevo, I don't care what excuse that you use. They did.
Mhm.
The players ain't doing this. The players ain't doing that. No, dude. It's the coaching. Coaching is prevalent in games. You just got to understand that it is.
Well, I'm gonna say Atlanta has an excuse every year. Every year
Mhm.
it's the
Well, the
mascot.
fans do.
It's the water boy. It's they didn't open the ceiling for the game, the roof or whatever. Oh, Marta wasn't running on time. I mean, they use every excuse in the book, but the kingdom of God itself as to why they're losing. They never accept that they are just Loserville every season. This is what the Falcons do. They win 3 or 4 in a row, and Falcons fans get excited. They come back to the stadium. The stadiums are full, and then it happens every year. You guys could Google this. I am not saying this as a hater. I'm saying this as a fact. They get about that 4th or 5th win in a row. Sometimes they've hit 6, and then it goes down. And then they're angry and they want to fire everybody and they want to get a new stadium and burn their uniforms and everything. But this is what the Falcons do. This is what they do. If Kevin doesn't want to accept it because he's in that group that wears do-rags like Michael Penix Jr. So he's supporting that type of behavior. He doesn't have a healthy rationalization as to what's going on. So Yenzer, yes, the Falcons are ASS. Thank you for that comment. It's in the book of Deuteronomy, so I guess I could say ass because it's in the Old Testament, but that's what they are. But anyway, all right, let's move on from them, lest they think that we really care because we don't. The Baltimore Ravens, y'all, they got in some hot water. Now, we talked about this last week on the show that they were being investigated for basically saying, Lamar's healthy. Then all of a sudden, oh no, he's not playing. $100,000, which is a lot to all of us on the panel, but not a lot to the Ravens as an organization. Violation of the NFL injury report policy. They listed Lamar, who I'm speaking about, as a full participant. Those words are very key because there's levels of how you can actually enter a player into the game. They're either IR, not necessarily full participant, half participant, whatever, injured participant, possible, things like that. They said full participant on Friday. So he was there, grinning from ear to ear, doing all the downs and all the runs and what have you on Friday before the game. And he was limited, though, to scout team reps. And then they said basically those should have been limited. And those were rules that they broke. And as a result, they've corrected the report, basically now saying at the end on that Saturday that they were going to have him out for that week's game because of a hamstring injury. And they basically accepted the fine, and they know they're guilty, and that's that. I mean, guys, we see this a lot, but the league is really kind of starting to crack down on this because you gotta think about it. People that are not starters, that kind of thing probably goes unnoticed. Like, think of how many people they probably do that with. But with a big name like Lamar Jackson, it's like very noted. Like, okay, wait, hold on, your quarterback, one of the top quarterbacks in the league, or he's not here, or he is here. What's happening? What was y'all's thoughts on that?
Well, I'm just going to say that it's like I'm going to piggyback up what you said. It's nothing new. It's just that they're starting to crack down more so on this. These are things that I'm pretty sure it's business as usual with most teams. This is how they operate. And, now they're starting to crack down. So you get fined $100,000 and you try to get caught next time and move on.
Yeah, no love lost. Same old Ravens. And we talked about how they got it done last night. So they clearly were not bothered by that 100,000. We do have some more injuries, guys. I mean, as we get ready to go into week 9. Hi, Elizabeth. And Elizabeth, I think you subscribed to my YouTube. I got a notification about 30 minutes ago. So thank you so much. And B, thank you for that because I see you know her. Thank you so much for supporting. I got a notification. I was like, who is Elizabeth? So I'm just like, thank you very much.
She's on one ass cheek, three toes.
Oh, that's the same. Okay, Liz. Okay, yes, ma'am. She I'm gonna have to, support her. So thank you so much. It's all love, beautiful. Thanks for coming on tonight as well. Y'all have a really good show, by the way. All right, we have some players coming back from injury, guys. Some big players, big names. A lot of quarterbacks were missing. Jaden Daniels is expected to play in this big matchup. He's predicted fully ready. No injury designation. He's expected to start in Sunday's game against the Seahawks, and that's going to be critical because the Seahawks have been on a roll. We'll talk about that game here shortly. And he missed last week, another hamstring injury, guys. And that's going to be key to that game, don't you think? Let's go ahead and just talk about that now while we got on this guy, on Jaden. You guys think Commanders could be competitive against the Seahawks with Jaden back?
I mean, they're going to be competitive.
Terry's still out, though.
They're going to be competitive, but Scary Terry's not playing. They just got Debo. Seattle is a good team. And I think they're better than the Commanders. They got a better run. They're better defensively than the Commanders are. They're better offense. Who's going to cover JSN? Nobody can cover JSN. There you go. So I mean, it's good that he adds an element to your offense that would make it a lot better, obviously. But at the same time, I mean, without Scary Terry, this is the whole thing. This is the whole reason why they wanted to sign him back in the first place, because really, besides Debo, he's got nobody to throw to. And they use Debo in trick formations or, jet sweeps and stuff like that too. So, he's a two-trick pony.
I was just about to say that.
So, I mean, it's just I like Washington, but they definitely regressed from where they were last season. Definitely.
What happened? I don't understand.
Injuries had a lot to do with when your starting quarterback's not playing most of the season. That hurts you right there. And Jaden Daniels hasn't been there, so Yeah.
And couple that with the sophomore slump. I mean, remember the whole regime came in the last year, and so
Mhm.
now everybody knows what they're doing. Everybody, they're game planning for them, and they game planning for Jaden. And Jaden's not in the game, like Brian alluded to. And you have weapons on your offense. I mean, first of all, you don't have depth. You let players go. De'Ambi Brown's gone, and some other players are gone. And Brian Robinson got traded away. I mean, you have Bill. Everybody calls him Bill. But I think that was a key loss in Brian Robinson being missing, because he didn't give you 1,000 yards, but he gave you 700 to 800 yards every season. And so and a lot of those were critical first downs, and that matters. And so I would say that's missing. And their defense has always been skimpy. It's like a little engine that could, but it's not quite, you know, giving you everything it could. I think it's just pretty meh right now. It's bland,
I mean,
mid, as some of the young
I
kids
hate
say.
that. I hate it's a sophomore slump. We saw that with CJ Stroud, and he's been hard pressed to go back to the lights out we saw. I think you can attribute that a little bit, like you said, to J Train. I mean, it's during the off season, teams look up and study these players, and they study these teams, and that's what the off season is for, is regrouping and improving your game. And what better way to improve your game than to look at the playbook of the enemies, basically. I mean, people always accuse me of being a Falcon fan, but no, I watch my enemies. That's why I know a lot about. That's why we're here tonight. This is what got me started, looking at other teams to see what they were looking like, especially when the Panthers weren't doing well. And then I like the Lions because they've been extremely competitive, and things like that. What's up, B? See, you got something to say?
No, I was just getting ready to say Jaden Daniels really should get an incomplete. Really, you can't really say it's a sophomore slump. You got to be playing, all those games to really think about what that is. So I'm kind of iffy on that whole certain thing, but good quarterbacks will get better. Great quarterbacks will elevate their game. So
I think he's both.
Yeah. So
I like that.
It's just going to take time, but it's definitely not going to do it against Seattle. Where are they playing? Is it in Seattle?
no, it's in Washington.
It's in Washington. That's interesting. I still got Seattle winning this game.
Yeah,
It's
Seattle's
not
been
enough.
playing lights out. No kudos to Bo, who's literally beginning to feel himself. He's a friend of ours. We're all in group chats with him. He's been, real docile over the last couple of years that J Train and I have known him. And all of a sudden, it's like he's just an instigator. Like, I mean, he won like 4 games in a row. And you can't, mute the conversation. And,
He'll tell you he'll talk trash. He'll tell you he'll talk trash.
I guess I was saved from that for some reason. But people are real ballsy once they get about 4 wins under their belt. Let's be clear, the Panthers do have 4 wins as well. But I'm hyped up in increments. I like to just share screenshots of what is being said.
I love that. I'm hyped up in increments.
Yeah, like kind of a control hypeness. There's a control hypeness.
When it comes like Toronto Blue Jays. It comes in innings. All the hits come in one inning.
It definitely comes in increments with you, Sonia. Let me tell you.
You guys know so well, right? And you guys know how it was last week before the Bills game. Oh my gosh, let me get my violin out. Hang on. I'll deal with that in just a moment. Okay, all you Bills fans that like Monkey texted me. I don't see him on here tonight. Where's Monkey? Okay, where is Monkey?
He said you didn't answer him back. That's why.
I was busy. My phone lives in do not disturb, and people know that. I don't. So let me just put it out here.
Well, maybe he didn't know that.
There's been several people that have texted me about that Bills game. It was not because we lost that I didn't respond to you. I've been working on a lot of schoolwork, and I get very easily distracted. And for me to stop and answer a text, and J Train and B Shrill, you guys can attest. It starts me then to go onto Instagram, and then I'm forwarding a bunch of stuff at random hours of night. That's usually when I've gotten distracted by something, and it's hard for me to get back on point. So not only that, Monkey, true transparency, since we're live, You have my business phone number and not my personal number. And my business number I have not answered in weeks. So I just happened to go on and see your text. So my apologies. I'll give you my personal number now that I know you know you. So my apologies about that. That 6518 is not my personal number. That's the number he has. And J-Train, you would be sure to know that that's not my phone number that y'all have ever used. So that's the number Monkey has. Monkey, if you're on, you can say hi now. I apologize. I'll send you my real number after the show. All right, guys. So anyway, talking about the Seahawks, also Devin Witherspoon is back, their corner. That he, has been very big on contributing as their corner to Seattle. He practiced fully with no injuries designated today or whatever, what have you. And so he's set to return after missing 5 of the last 6 games. So they're getting weapons back in addition to already being good without him. Bryce Young, my beloved Carolina Panther, is returning after I don't even know. Andy didn't look like he ever played in the league. I don't know if he hadn't done any reps or what, or if his uniform was too tight since he hadn't worn it in a while and the circulation was cut off around the arms. But that game was horrible. 3 turnovers, and the Bills capitalized on every one of them. One was a fumble that he just couldn't hold on to the ball as busy as he got knocked down and the ball coughed up and just all kind of stuff. And then it was just the other points they got were not from turnovers. It was just a wrap at that point. I think I saw Super out there kicking a field goal for the Bills at the end of the game because they tried to say that it looked like a Bills home game. The stinking Bills came all the way from New York, got their butts on planes, and tried to take over our stadium. Listen, Panthers fans, if y'all are listening, and I know you are, you have got to stop. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I was a season ticket holder, and I have sold my one seat to another team before, but I always ask my friends first. But if it's hundreds of people in there, thousands of people in there, that means everybody sold their tickets, and that is not good at all. So, anyway, Bryce is coming back.
Special guest, Steve.
Special guest? Okay, great.
Special guest, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I don't know.
I don't know. So, Bryce is coming back. He had an ankle injury, so it's very, I don't know what that means because I'm still skeptical when players come back, y'all. Please give me your thoughts on this. When players come back from injuries that first week, I don't expect them to be, I know that they're cleared, but I don't expect them to physically be at their best performance. Or do you guys agree with that?
Oh, well, nobody's 100% by the end of the season. It's just you're always going to have a football injury. It's just how much you can tolerate it and play the game. Like, for instance, Scary Terry McLaurin, he re-injured that quad. He came back. Maybe it was a little too soon, but the same injury he dove, and he re-injured the same injury. So it just happens. It's just the name of the game. It's football.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Right, B? You agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, we're at that part of the season where everybody's hurt. So if the team feels that Bryce is ready to go out there, then they're going to put him out there. So
retire the musty Rusket. I'm Rusket. I did it the wrong way. The rusty musty.
The rifle is jam. The rifle is jam.
Either one it's all the same for him. Yes.
Yeah, so there's that. In fact, the Panthers are activating Hooker, the third-string quarterback, as the now backup to Bryce. So Andy has moved to the third string, and the rumors are swirling he may be moved to the practice squad soon, just letting you guys know. So that's a little bit of insider news that is legit. It's not a rumor. It's actually legit. But anyway, he's coming back. Derwin James Jr., the safety out of Los Angeles, is back, guys. He's going to play against the Titans. I mean, I don't even have a thought on that. Like the Titans, they don't even need they don't even have to have the opposing team take the field. And
I just feel bad for Cam Ward. That's all I.
Yes. But when you're drafted in the highest
go to a bad team,
you're going to the worst team. And I saw a video. I just got to put this plug in there because it's probably applicable to the Titans, not necessarily Cam himself, but they had a hype video of Tua Tagovailoa hyping up the team before the game, and somebody said that Tua couldn't hype them up to fix a sandwich. So I was like, because he was literally, he can't even encourage me to make a sandwich. He can't even hype me up to make a sandwich. And that's what the Titans are. I don't have the Titans won any games.
Yeah, they won one. No, they didn't actually win the game. The Cardinals basically gave them a game because they were just being Laurel and Hardy out there. So
that was my point. Did they win it, or was it just the team beat themselves?
Yeah, it was Titans just slipped and fell in one. There you go.
Lad McConkey, the wide receiver out of Los Angeles, is off of the injury report. He had a calf injury. That's pretty big. Thank you, Lad. I'm glad you are back and safe. You're on my fantasy, and I have seriously missed you. I got beat 2 weeks in a row. So, yeah. Players that are ruled out. Now, this is a big one, and I do want y'all's feedback on this. Mr. Travis Hunter. Mr. I got baptized earlier in the season before a game. Mr. I got married. Mr. I'm going to play on both sides of the ball. This is a knee injury, and he's placed on IR and will miss a minimum of 4 games. We're in week 9. So dude ain't coming back to about week 14. Is this an injury that we kind of all talked about when you are putting yourself on both sides of the ball? Your body is not going to be able to sustain that?
I mean, it could be. I mean, it could be just a regular injury. I mean, they've had him playing mostly offense, so I can't attribute it to. I mean, they put him on like maybe I think it's like they had him on like an 85-90% offense now, and they said they were going to do that because they needed the receiver help because Brian Thomas is kind of not picking his slack up a little bit. He needs to get that stuff together. He better. Damn it, he's on my fantasy team. Jeez,
he's dropped nine catches.
Yeah,
so.
Dude, I'm
dropping them like hot potatoes. They throw a ball and he can't hold on to it.
My opinion is that I think going into the draft, I thought that he was kind of frail in his size. He's very athletic, very ball dominant. I mean, in regards to being a defensive player, catching the ball, but that was college. I thought that he should focus mainly on one, and most his contemporaries, former players, who became analysts, thought, particularly like Charles Woodson, Champ Bailey. These guys put their words in and said that they thought that he should play mostly cornerback first and make some spell because those are guys that actually did it. They knew what the game's like, and then at a high level. And so, so Sonia, it could be both. You both could be here, you and Brian, meaning that it could be attributed to playing too much on both sides. But like B said, he played mostly offense. He's been playing defense. But I think for me, in my opinion, it's just that it's his size. He's not getting manhandled because he had like 8 catches, I think, and for 109 yards and a TD. So he was starting to ball out. But I mean, this is probably something that I wouldn't be surprised if this become a merry-go-round, a recurring issue.
Yeah, I agree with both of you, what you said, but I still believe the body at the end of the day is still human. And even as athletes, you are not going to defy nature. You're not going to defy, the creation that you are because you're an athlete. And the body just can't take but so much. And even though he's playing, a larger percentage of offense, imagine what he's doing outside of the game. Like what type of repetitions he's getting in practice. What are they, because they have to have him at least on a few defensive plays just in the event they have to use him during a game. So that wear and tear on the body, and then Jay Train said he's, a smaller statute person, it just kind of, 1 and 1 equals 2. So that's where we are. But we definitely wish him well. Get ready for Jacksonville to go right on down the sliding board at this point without him, because he has been a difference maker to that team. And Trevor Lawrence, I don't know. They nailed us down week 1, and they were kind of a hit and miss. And now, we'll talk about the games they have coming up here soon. I don't think much out of Jacksonville. We already talked about Terry Scary. That's Terry McLaurin for the Commanders. Aggravated quad. He's out versus the Seahawks. You guys talked about him. That aggravation meaning he re-injured, same injury. Jeffrey Simmons, the defensive tackle from the Titans, is out with a hamstring injury, a lot of hamstring injuries. Calvin Ridley, yeah, he's still playing. You guys can't get rid of Ridley. He's with Tennessee, hamstring. And a lot of those guys are getting just injured because Tennessee is just so bad. So everybody's just beating them physically and on the scoreboard at this point. Julian Love, the safety from Seattle, is out with a hamstring injury against the Commanders. Also, Jake Bobo, their wide receiver, has an Achilles injury. So, that means he's out for the duration. And additional Titans that are out are Arden Key, the offensive linebacker. He has a quadricep injury, and Xavier Woods, their safety, has a hamstring. I mean, Tennessee, it's not even y'all even suiting up. Just see if we can't make the first of many forfeitures for the NFL. Just go ahead and send a slip in to the commissioner because you don't have nobody out there. Like, who's out there? Who is out there but Cam at this point?
Well, I mean, that all depends on your coaching too. Your coaching can coach them up. They can. I mean, I'm attributed to that for my team. My team can coach them up. You saw what happened when they played against Tampa Bay. They had all four of their starters out in the secondary, and the ones that took over played fabulous. So it's on coaching. So if they can coach them up and play them games and keep them competitive, I mean, I guess that's all that counts right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
To answer your question, Sonia, they got electricians, plumbers, pizza delivery guys.
Yeah.
All those
people
guys
that work for Nissan Stadium, the Nissan factory.
They get the factory workers in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Getting their second shot at life.
Chargers got some people out too. Tarheeb Steele, the cornerback with a knee injury. Tony Jefferson, the safety with a hamstring. Hassan Haskins is out. Y'all, it's like you said, this is the time of year. We probably have a whole show of just injuries. Now, these are people that are questionable, though. So these people may or may not play. So get your fantasy list out right now in case your player's name is showing up on here. This is going to be a game time decision for the following people. Cooper Kupp, we talked about him. Wide receiver, Seattle, hamstring. He did not practice today, y'all, after injuring his hamstring yesterday in practice. So he was out already, hurt with a heel and a hamstring. And then he re-injured himself yesterday in practice while he's trying to get cleared to come in. So he's questionable. Mekhi Becton, knee injury for the Chargers, the guard. Will Disley, the tight end out of the Chargers as well. He's sick, not a physical injury, but he's some type of sickness, illness. And Jaron Reed, the defensive tackle out of Seattle. A lot of those players are the main players from those teams that are out. And these are, key games coming up here Sunday. We'll talk about these guys, and then we're going to go into our college spiel. The 1 o'clock game got the Bears and Bengals. Bears are a negative 2.5. Are the Bears onto something here? D, I'll let you go first. That's your neck of the woods.
I mean, the Bears are playing. I mean, against the Ravens, they didn't look good. But I think that this is a team that they can get back on a road with because Cincinnati has a very bad defense, and this should set up Caleb for a very good game. And their defense is just good enough to stop their offense. And we don't know if Flacco's going to play or not because him and Hendrickson actually are listed as game time decisions. So we'll see if Browning goes in there. Cincinnati got no hope doing that. They got no hope.
The Bears are going to be without DeAndre Swift, though.
I was just about to say, I forgot to mention not only DeAndre Swift, but Carson Wentz is out, y'all, with season-ending shoulder injury. So when we get to that game, that's going to be they just got this brother in from home. He was at home eating his Campbell's soup. They got him in there, and now he's hurt.
Should have stayed on the couch.
I'm not surprised.
This next game, I'm disgusted at Vegas or whoever sets up these odds. The audacity of y'all to move the point spread to the highest for this week is ridiculous. The Green Bay Packers game versus Carolina in Green Bay. Okay, yeah, whatever. 13.5 points. Now, when I talked about this game on Wednesday, it was 12.5. So somebody got slick and moved it up another point. Don't get too twisted. They think, because the Bills did all that. Bryce was not there. Okay. T-Mac, Bryce is coming to his own. I'm realistic. I'm going to say we're going to win, but I'm realistic that we may not. Let me just put that out there. I'm clearly humbled down a little bit after last week's game. J Train and Bistro, do y'all think we're going to get beat by 13.5 points?
No. It was 14.5 at one point, too, by the way.
No less. I think it's going to be less.
It's going to be less.
Especially considering Bryce is going to be up there. But the only problem I have with Bryce being such a shorter quarterback, he's going to have a little bit of pressure in his face with those two bookends, and I think that's going to give him some trouble.
I think that's going to change the direction.
But the way to alleviate that is to give Rico Dotto more carries.
Run right at Mike.
Do that. Yeah, because Mike is not great. He's not good with run defense at all. So
yeah, he knows. They know each other.
Like I was telling Nate yesterday, I said, this game's going to be closer to 13.5. That's way I hope somebody bets over 13.5 so they can lose their money real quick.
Right.
Because the Panthers do have a good defense. They really do have a good defense. And I think that's going to be palatable against Jordan Love because right now they got some receivers coming back, but they're kind of hurt on the offensive line. And then on top of that, as far as the offense versus defense, if Micah decides he wants to come up the middle on the Panthers, just change the play and change to a run and have Dotto run right through him. There you go. That's all you do.
My apologies, folks. My apologies. Oh, goodness.
What's going on?
I'm yawning, about to pass out over here.
Oh,
I thought this was Yawn's view of the game, and I was like,
no, that was literally me yawning.
Trust me, I know. I had some Coca-Cola. Let me specify. You can't just say Coke no more. I had some Coca-Cola. I got to make it sound like the old school way of saying it. Before I got on here.
You got to be politically correct on pop now? Oh, God,
yeah, because you like.
You got some Coke yesterday?
Speaking of
Coke, do that and say Coke at the same time.
Yeah. Speaking of Coke, last night, I don't know if y'all saw my message in the chat. Well, Aaron Michaels was wrapping up the end of the game, and he was just throwing shots at everybody. He saw the Dolphins fans have their bags on. He was like, oh, yeah, this is like from the Saints, who became the Aints. And then they were like, yeah, this team, does Baltimore have a chance to go to the Super Bowl? And they were like, well, we know teams who don't. Look at the Browns, look at the Lions. He was just throwing shots. But then at the end of the game, he was like, and yeah, so the Falcons were dropped to 2-7. He was not even supposed to be talking about the Falcons. It was a Ravens game. I'm like, is he okay? Is he on, Coach himself? So just to bring that part back up.
What, this one?
But anyway. You're funny answer. All right, let's move on. This next game is one I'm definitely looking forward to. Keith Angle, our friend. Keith, this may be the one game I root for you for the whole season. Every team gets one game, even if I don't like them, and this is the game I'm rooting. The New England Patriots versus the Atlanta Falcons. And the Pats are a negative 5.1, and I hope they run the scoreboard up.
So I think that spot as close as the game is going to be. I think the Falcons offense, if they get back together, they got Mooney, London, and Penix all returning, and if you have Bijan Robinson. So I like both running games. I like Henderson, who's picking it up. He's starting to get more carries, and he's starting to look like the running back out of Ohio State. And Bijan Robinson, just give him the ball. Give him the ball. I think that's the key to your success is hand this guy, your star player, your engine, give him the ball.
Well, and with the fans last week, they silenced him.
Yeah, but he didn't. I think he only had a few carries. So
I think he had 10 carries in that game. He had 10.
Yeah, carries in that game. Crazy. So, you got to feed him more than that.
And unfortunately, he fumbled one of those. But the point of the matter is, you got to give him more carries. And I think I know the reason why that happened as the game progressed, because it was getting out of hand and they had to go to the air. Yep. So, and Cousins wasn't prepared for all that. So
speaking of, he's asking for a trade again. Why
not?
He's out there now saying he wants to just be somewhere where he could, like, now that we got Carson Wentz and him out, he might get called up. We got a lot of quarterbacks that need, he can go to Tennessee and probably do a little something, little razzle dazzle for them while Cam gets himself together.
Or there were talks about. I think we all talked about it in him having a reunion with Minnesota. But the
Yeah.
only problem with him is his age versus $27.5 million plus $10 million next season. It's a
God,
lot of money. So, and to say that you're not sure if he's still the cousin of old, he might be that weird step cousin that you don't want around the house
he's just getting
with your
coins for
kids.
nothing.
It all depends on how he does Sunday against the Lions. I mean, JJ McCarthy. If he fails bad and he can't move the ball up and down the field, I mean, I think they're going to try to salvage their season as much as possible. I mean, they're still a good team, basically a pretty good team. They don't have any good secondary, but they have good linebackers. They have good front four. Their offensive line is pretty sturdy, although it hasn't been showing that lately. And then they got a pretty good run game too. So, and of course you got the receivers. So, I mean, they got a team that can win some games. They just need a quarterback that's going to guide them through that. And if JJ's not the guy, which he shouldn't have, Minnesota has messed that whole situation up in the first place. They should have kept Sam Darnold. Let's keep it real, because JJ needs to sit down and learn behind a veteran when he is able to play. So last year he couldn't play. He had Achilles, so he can't do nothing. So, I mean, this is just bad on Minnesota. It looks bad for Minnesota.
Yeah.
On their quarterback situation. Bad match.
I like how you talked about salvaging, because I was going to use that as my segue, and I will in just a second when we start talking about college, because this is a hit or miss right here. This is your make or break time of season. The NFL gives you a little bit longer time to get it together, as opposed to college. You got to come out the door ready, because those rankings come in super swift, and there's so many teams competing for playoff contentions in college, as opposed to just 32 teams in the NFL, that you have to already be ready. And so, the fact that we are now in week 9, if teams have not gotten it together, if you have been one of these teams that's only won 1 or 2 games, you better get ready to win out, or you're done. Or if you have been winning, you better keep winning. Kansas City only has 2 wins now, shockingly. We're in week 9, bro. Y'all ain't going to the Super Bowl like this unless you continue. Now you have to win out because you've lost so many games. Speaking of other teams, the New York Giants, the Tiny, the garbage. They're playing the San Francisco 49ers, and that game is going to be less than a field goal to supposed to decide that game, guys. And that's a yawn fest. I think it was Jens that was talking about Yawnsville earlier. The Giants and the 49ers are a yawn fest, unless I've missed something. McCaffrey.
Well, it's going to be a defense. It's going to be a pretty good game because both the defenses are going to be really good.
That's when it's a slow game.
Although I think the Giants could win that game, because what I saw against Houston, that was just ridiculous. They should not lost that game. I thought Houston was going to win anyway because their defense is better than San Francisco's defense. I thought they were going to get to the quarterback, and the brilliance that Houston had in driving against San Francisco in like 2 or 3 drives where it was like 15, 13 plays, they kept the offense off the field, so they didn't have to worry about it too much. So I don't know. I mean, I know Jackson Dart doesn't have very many weapons to throw to now because Scatterboo's not going to be in for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How can I forget? Cam Scatterboo had not only that ankle dislocated, he had another break. Like, it was 2 breaks.
Yeah, he had a fibula and was it dilibia? Dilibia,
something like that I couldn't pronounce.
Separated.
Yeah, he's out. Bless his heart. First year playing and already going through all of that.
But Jackson Dart, I mean, I think he can still get the job done. I think he's got enough good. Hyatt's coming back for them.
But DBs definitely love their stay at the Hyatt. I mean, he's not really all that great.
Well, I mean, he's another receiver to throw to. That's all I gotta say. So yeah. I mean, they got that kid. They got Robinson kid, don't they?
Wandale Robinson, yeah.
Yeah, Rondell Robinson. They got him, so he's still active. So I mean, they could do it, and they still got Tyrod Tracy. He's still in there, so the running game shouldn't be too much of a difference.
Yes.
It's just that offensive line, man. That's all I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
said, I agree with you, B. It's going to be a defensive game.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it Yawnsville. It's Yawnsville. Next game will not be Yawnsville. It's going to be the Denver Broncos at the Texans. However, they only got them at a 1.5 spread. And I'm like, how dare y'all give us negative 13.5? And you got the Broncos game closer than that. What the devil?
Because they're both defensive teams. Again, this is going to be another defensive battle. And actually, Houston is a better defense than Denver.
Ooh.
So I got them winning this game too.
I have Houston as you do winning this game, and I think I have to attribute that to them as in Denver missing Patrick Surtain II. He's on IR.
Surtain being out is a huge piece that they're going to be missing in that game. And I guess Denver on the road, and they did struggle with the Giants. Let's be clear. So yeah, next game is this is what made me mad about how they gave the Panthers and Packers 13.5. The Chargers versus the Titans. Y'all really only gave them 9.5? Are you kidding me? But we got 13. That game is gonna be Yawnsville. It's probably gonna be 42-3 at the end of the game.
The Chargers are missing a lot, though. I mean, particularly on their offensive line. And I don't know if Omari and Hampton is back. Would you all happen to know that? Is he back?
I don't know.
No, he's not back. He won't be back until next week. So they're going to run
That's
with
probably
Gore Vidal again. I call him Gore Vidal, but he's going to be the running back again. He's a good running back. He's not a bad running back. They're getting a lot out of that rookie. The biggest thing that came to the Chargers was Khalil Mack, though.
Yep.
When he came back last game, well, he came back the game before that, and I guess he was just getting into the game, and that's why they didn't do very well. But you could tell he was part of the problem that the offense had against them.
He looked like the Bears
terrifically well. Yeah.
What about Joe Alt? Is Joe Alt back?
Yeah, Joe Alt's back. He played last game too.
Okay. Good.
So I don't know. What's your score predictions on that game then, since y'all are saying these folks is back and stuff?
Well, it's over. It's over.
I said 42-3.
Yeah, it's going to be a significant. I think it could be 14 to 21 points. I don't think the Titans usually have good defense, but without Simmons in there, it's going to be, they got no offense.
Nope. That's why I was like, send your forfeiture slip in.
They're like, nobody.
30-12. I say 30, 12 or 13.
Okay.
Yeah, that's got it good. Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Let's move on. Pittsburgh Steelers coming off of a loss. The Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love making sure that Aaron Rodgers doesn't go down in the little Hall of History, at least not this season, as being a quarterback that beat all 32 teams like the other greats. And they are playing the Indianapolis Colts. Y'all, the point spread is -3, but I think the Colts are going to put up. And this game is in Indianapolis, too. I think the Colts. Oh, okay. Sorry, Pittsburgh, yeah. But I think the Colts have been on a hot offense this year. And I think that's going to be, this season, I think that's going to be real big, that this game is going to be an offensive battle.
Yeah, they ain't going to be able to stop Jonathan Taylor, who is the real.
Could they be the next one? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. My apologies, B. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. No, I was just throwing in there. They're not going to stop Jonathan Taylor, and he is the league's real MVP.
At this point in the half season, I think I agree with you. And my question is, could they be the next greatest show on turf? Because they're just hitting wide receivers on all points, hitting their tight end. They got weapons everywhere, including Jonathan Taylor, and surprise to most of the people, and Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has just lighted it up. He looked nothing like this in New York, and this is the guy that everybody wanted to see. That was a 6th overall draft pick for them, and they maybe got a little glimpse of it in one season. But look, I don't want to hear excuse. People say he's got Jonathan Taylor. Everybody's supposed to have a Jonathan Taylor. Mm-hmm. Everybody's a running back, a running game, so that you could play action, so that you can pass, so you can keep 8 men out of the box. So Titans for the upset. Yes, they will be upset again, sir. Mad on the
Except for they
sideline.
lost.
That's the only that's the only upset that you're going to see there. So yes, I think that Indianapolis they win this game, but it's no blowout. They're going to go to Pittsburgh and I think they struggled a little bit when they in their one loss, but they the game they probably should have won regardless of that bad play by Adonai Mitchell. So we'll see if they can hold up against. I mean, Pittsburgh didn't they get some more players in trades?
Well, he just got one. That's Duggan or Duggar from New England. That's a safety.
They're gonna need a safety because these guys are all over the place. That tight end, they're gonna need a lot of coverage because if they can't get to the quarterback, and usually what's good about their offense is that they get the ball out in less than 2 to 3 seconds.
Right.
They don't waste time.
Real quick, right. The real quick release, which means your coverage is good. And literally at this point, Colts are like Anthony Richardson, who y'all know a couple of seasons, they signed him, they tried to work with him, he was out injured, then they tried to work with him again. You lost your job, Richardson. I can pretty much, let you know you will never, like Daniel Jones, like you said, this is not the version of him we saw in New York at all. New York wanted him up out of there. The Giants fans were angry. And look at how a difference makes with him being with a different team. I'm actually happy for him. So kudos to them. All right, the big game, B, I let you talk about your Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings, the NFC North matchup. 8.5-point spread.
Yeah, I think they're going to go over that too. Minnesota's a mess right now. J.J. McCarthy coming back after an injury. He and the offensive line didn't do no favors to Carson Wentz. That basically put him out. They were on him like right on rice. The Chargers were, and
they lit him up.
If they can't block the Chargers on in a consistent basis, then they ain't gonna do that with the Lions either. Especially with Aiden Hutchinson, who just came off of a 4-year, $180 million contract that the Lions gave him. 141 guaranteed. So he'll be hyped to play. We're getting some defensive players back. Terry and Arnold will be starting. No Kirby. Kirby has got this game, but Branch is back off his suspension. Talk about he still has it now. He has another chip on his shoulder. As long as he don't slap anybody, he'll be okay. Right. So I'm. It's just bad right now. Jefferson's going to get his. Addison's going to get his. I don't know about Hawkinson. Hawkinson has not been playing well. The running game has been bad for Minnesota. Aaron Jones is not the guy he used to be. I think they should start Mason, to tell you the truth. Because
Mason is an underrated back.
Yes, he is. He's a very good back. But other than that, the Lions still got their offense, their top rated offense. It's bad for Minnesota right now. If they don't win this game, there's going to be some heads rolling. Let me tell you that right now. So, and
heads are definitely going to roll because they're not going to win this game. You got Aiden Hutchinson riding down the street playing his favorite song on repeat, "For the Love of Money." Gotta make that money, man.
Gotta make that money. Playing with that song.
Yeah. Bone Thugs and Harmony, baby.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
It's gonna be the first there you go.
Yeah, I was thinking that when I said maybe not just not the first when he got it. So yeah. I like the Lions here. They're just too many weapons. They're ranked 8th on both offense and defense, and they're showing it. They're in their prime. They're rested for one game. It's coming up a bye. So I think, and they're at home, and so I just think they got to, and it's their rival. They want to give their rival. I don't think there's any matchup for Jameson Williams right now, too. So he takes the top of the defense. He can get jet sweeps. He can get it streamed down the sideline. And once he opens up the game, it opens up for everybody else. Man, I just think this will be more than 9 points.
Another thing too, Isaiah Rodgers, one of I would say their best corner, although that's stretching it. He had a couple good games, but he's questionable to come in that game too. So hopefully he plays, at least for the Minnesota Vikings' sake.
We'll see. We got about 4 minutes to skedaddle the rest of this and get over. Let's stick with you, James, because next game is none other than the 405 game, which starts off with the New Orleans Saints and Los Angeles Rams. Now, my question is, does Shuck stay in as starting QB, or are they bringing Rattler back? Has Rattler lost a position for the season?
First, I thought you were trying to be cool and being dyslexic at the same time, like 405. It's 504. But no, I thought you were talking about the area code.
It's
So
cool.
yes,
You
the
know
time
to do it for y'all.
it's going to be the 504 playing at 405. Yes, exactly. We are definitely. Let me just cool again. Okay. Hmm?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he went to church and got baptized. So
You scared to go to
All
church?
right. Rededicating life to the Lord. Now he can go out there slap and just put his hands on somebody.
slap somebody in the Lord's
You know,
name.
he's not going to slap somebody. He's just he's going to lay his hand on somebody.
I will say
I
this,
beseech
though.
you in the name of
I
the Lord.
misspoke, J Train. I misspoke because the point spread in you guys' game is 14.
It should be. Probably
Good
more.
Lord.
Yes, I mean, we are going up against the Rams. We're going to get against Matthew Stafford, and we're going up against a very good defense. And this will be Tyler Shuck's litmus test. It's his first game. The coach has come on the record and said there will be no switching the quarterbacks. This is Tyler Shuck's moment going forward. So, and I really feel bad for Spencer Rattler because I think he did admirably, up until the last two games. And I think he was really put in a bad situation because ultimately you draft a guy 40th overall. This is the guy that you want to play. And so he's going to play now, and we got to see what we got with him. I'm not going to lie. When he got to the game, he did some things you could see struck a little differently. First of all, he stands at 6'4", so he probably can see a little bit better in the pocket than what Rattler can. Rattler probably has to, do kind of like Drew Brees. Drew Brees, if anybody didn't know, he used to stand on his toes to throw the ball.
He was 5'11", though. Like bright side.
Yeah.
Say 5'10".
Spencer's about 6'1". Yeah. And so he can throw the ball, but he also has some things he was dinged for coming out of college. He'll kind of get rattled and panic a little bit. So I'm interested to see how we do because we don't have our center. And we got, I think, the rest of the offensive line, but Alvin Kamara doesn't look all that good. He's not blocking as a running back supposed to block. And so, he's out for the season because of a ACL tear. So we'll see. I expect us to get beat pretty bad, but I'm more so looking for the game to see how Tyler Shuck does and how he handles pressure. And so we'll see if he can get, maybe a touchdown out of this, and get some decent quality yards.
Guys, Kool-Aid McKinstry has been pretty solid for you guys too. So this will be a game that maybe he can get a little spotlight on there. We're gonna run through these. B, you agree with what J Train said on that one?
Yeah, I'm not buying the cover on that one either. I think New Orleans, for any good reason, they'll play tough because of their defense. Their defense is pretty solid too. So I wouldn't say they're going to get blown out. If they lose by 10. I don't see it going over a 14.5 though, unless something really catastrophic happens to their defense. But they're going to play a good game though. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, trying to say it's the Rams. Other 405 game is the Raiders and Jacksonville. We already told you guys about a lot of injuries. Of course, Travis Hunter is out. That's going to be big. Raiders have been looking like Crysville all season anyway, so Jacksonville may still be able to pull this one out. Point spread is only 2.5 on that game. It's going to be pretty close. Then the 425 game, we got my newest enemies, the Buffalo Bills, at the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, let me be clear. What's up, Yoli? Good to see you, girl.
Hey, Yoli.
I don't like the chefs, but at this point, the shellacking that the Bills put on the Panthers last week, I could give two rats butt cheeks who wins this game. So may the better team win the 425 game. And Sunday Night Football, we've already talked about at the top of our show with the Commanders. Jaden Daniels is back versus the Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold looking outstanding. A lot of college games. We're going to go ahead and delve into that for the last couple of minutes here. College games kick off this week. The rankings are out. We got a lot of we're going to run through the top 10 teams who are all going to be facing games tomorrow. Ohio State, Indiana number 2, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, Ole Miss, and even Georgia Tech at number 8. They are 8-0, guys. Vandy is 7-1 at number 9. Number 10 is Miami themselves, 6-1. BYU is at number 11. They're on a tie with Notre Dame, 5-2. Texas Tech, Tennessee, 6-2 at number 14. Virginia, number 15. Louisville, number 16. Cincinnati, 17. Oklahoma, 18. 19 is Missouri, 6-2, and Texas is at number 20 at 6-2. So as you guys see, you can't lose no more than 2 games to be in the top 20 for the rankings. Big games that are coming up on tomorrow. Game number 9, Vandy is going to be playing number 20 Texas at noon. These are ranked matchups tomorrow. Oklahoma at number 18 is going to be playing number 14 Tennessee at 7:30 tomorrow, and then number 17 Cincinnati is playing number 24, believe it or not, because this still has ranking implications. Utah at 10:15. Other marquee games are Penn State at number 1, Ohio State at noon. Number 5, Georgia versus Florida. This game is going to be at 3:30. South Carolina, who I did not mention in my top 20, is playing number 7, Ole Miss tomorrow. And number 8, Georgia Tech is taking on North Carolina State, who is unranked. And then Purdue and your boys that just missed the top 20, BA, number 21, Michigan, tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. So lots of big games. You guys got any closing remarks on any of those games I've mentioned?
Just another game that's not in the top 25, but that is an important game. My Navy midshipmen are going against the North Texas team, 7-0 versus 7-1. If Navy can win this game, they will definitely be in the top 25 because they have been playing outstanding football, and they're coming against 2 opponents in the next couple of weeks, actually, that are going to be hard. The next week is Notre Dame. And
don't sleep on North Texas, though. Do not sleep on North Texas.
North Texas.
They are definitely pretty good.
This is a team that Navy. This is one of those teams that Navy needs to beat to solidify how good they are. Because North Texas ain't no joke. They're favored in this game too, by the way. So
and that's what it is. It's Upsetville, because if you miss the top 20, 21 being Michigan, 22 being Houston, 23 USC, 24 Utah, and 25 Memphis. None of these teams have lost more than 2 games the entire season. So that's the top 25, and these other games have serious implications on the rankings that follow up.
A team that was in the top 25 is no longer. They have 3 losses. Is LSU. We could spend a whole segment talking about them because of all the scandal with the governor and the AD fired and the coaches fired, the offensive coordinator fired. You can talk about all of them all day, and everybody. They've been talking about them all week. And Brian Kelly getting his $54 million, to go fish, pretty much.
They said
it's a lot.
Some random people came up to pay that or something just to be able to end his contract. Was there any truth to that? I think I saw that somewhere, but I didn't read the article.
It's Louisiana. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, it's a matter of they were chanting "Fire Brian Kelly" at the end of that last game.
Oh wow!
So I mean, I'm torn because I like Brian Kelly, and a lot of people don't like him, but I thought he was great. I thought he was great at Notre Dame, and I like him coaching LSU. I just think that it's kind of like bad luck. You had a couple of top 5 offenses with Jaden Daniel and then Garrett Nussmeier last season, but you had terrible defenses. They finally got a good defense this season, and they just broke down with the offense, and it just didn't work out, man. So I hope that.
Go ahead, Jay Train.
I was just gonna say I hope that we get a really good coach, another really good coach, to come in and take the reins and somebody that has ties to Louisiana already. And I think that's part of the issue. I mean, regardless of not having Nick Saban, who didn't have ties to Louisiana besides being a coach there, or if he would come. If there was a rumor that they're trying to get $200 million for Nick Saban to come out of retirement, Nick Saban's not coming out of retirement.
Mhm.
And
No.
someone put Lane Kiffin's name in there. Lane said nobody wants to live in Louisiana. Nobody wants to live in Louisiana.
Oh, you know who else they went after? Shepard from the Lions.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He said he ain't doing that either.
I will tell you guys this.
He loves the school because that's his alma mater, but he ain't.
I mean, he don't have New Orleans ties, I don't believe. But somebody that may be available real soon, and I mean sooner than later, is Mike McDaniel from the Dolphins. I mean, his name is rolling around all day. He's probably gonna lose this. He's gonna probably be termed really quick. Now that Travis
he's gonna be an offensive coordinator somewhere, but he ain't gonna be a coach nowhere.
You think Louisiana is the capital for voodoo? It really would be that if he came down there. They be trying to stick pins in voodoo dolls to get him out of there. I would say that maybe who's another name? Joe Brady out of Buffalo. He was the offensive coordinator, passing coordinator for them when they won the national championship with Joe Burrow. So that's another name there. And then yeah, it is a good name. And then there's also John Summerall, the coach for Tulane down in Louisiana, down in New Orleans. So there's a few names out there.
Good plugs. All right, we get ready to wrap up here. Want to give a shout out to Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson, the ex-Cal star. Jackson, in his debut season as head coach of Delaware State, has led their team, the Hornets, to a 6-3 start. That was a really star-studded attendance. We saw Cam Newton. We saw Allen Iverson. A lot of sports greats there in that matchup with them just yesterday evening. Norfolk State is who Mike Vick is coaching. Close game, 27-20 on Thursday night. As they were both, of course, if you guys been living under a rock, former teammates in the NFL. Now both leading HBCU college programs. So kudos to both of those young men. Well, men who lead Norfolk State.
That's right.
What's Norfolk State's record? What's their record?
I don't know. Norfolk State. You made me do fact checks while I'm on there. Thank you, J Train. Let me just look real quick.
Put her on the spot.
Let me try to have myself ready. You guys know I'd be like, Norfolk State's record is, hang on, it's coming up because I know Bia beat me. It's like,
you're good.
I got, because I have Norfolk State. Siri, what is Norfolk State record? All right, they have not won. They are 1-8 overall, but 0-10.
I thought somebody said 1-8. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a troll. I wasn't going to say it. I was like, oh.
No, that's not good.
State is 6-3 overall and 2-0. Yeah. So
one of my best college experiences going to a football game was at Norfolk State. When I was in the Navy, I went to one of their games. Man, it was electric. It was electric.
I lived in Richmond for a number of years, and I used to drive through Norfolk all the time and see the big ships out there. Of course, if you guys don't know, because next month is kicking off Veterans Month. So let me go ahead and be the first to wish J Train and B Strilla a happy Veterans Month. You all should be definitely recognized more than just one day, 11/11. And thank you for your service, and thank you for your contributions to me as a friend, as a sister, and to this network. And more importantly, thank you for your sacrifices for our country. I'm so glad that you two, made it through. Made it through is what I like to say. And speaking of making it through, this is going to wrap up the end of our October segments for Prim and Proper Sports. Friday with the Fellaz. We will see you all next month. Be safe. Enjoy your weekends tomorrow morning on November 1st at 8 a.m. sharp. You got J Train and B Strilla joined with Jack Hirsch for the big debate show in the morning right here on this platform. And then Sunday morning at 8 a.m. before you head off to church. Get all of your week 9 last minute NFL news from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure, if you can't catch them live, to catch those shows in syndication right here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. You guys have a great weekend, and God bless. Keep pounding.
Go Navy.